Every time you say, I told you yesterday, you hit the record button, you say something goofy, makes me laugh, and then I look like the weirdo.
What? I just it's podcast time. See?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. All of a sudden, he turned into this
Time for podcast.
1920s radio announcer, and I'm just like, "What are you doing?"
Well, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm Jake, your Wizard of Marketing, here for the Hold My Beard Marketing Podcast, the only podcast that talks about stuff in the way that we do. Uh, if you want to stay up to date on your marketing news, tips, tricks, and whatever else is going on in the world of marketing, this is your place. I'm here, of course, as always, with the legendary Mitch Barham. Mitch, what's up,
What
dude?
up? Keeping on, keeping on. It's Wednesday. Been a good week. Been a good couple weeks. Advertising world
Yeah,
is
been
still
a great
crazy,
couple weeks.
but yeah, no, summer's almost here officially. It's summer for you all the
I don't know
time.
what you're talking about. It's been summer here for, well, it's always summer here.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's always
Um,
summer there. Let's be honest.
awesome. Well, I figure we could dive straight in today with a fun little article here, little interview with someone who's become somewhat of a legend in the advertising space, Mr. Ryan Reynolds.
Mm-hmm.
So Ryan Reynolds is talking about how TV ads are going to be getting a lot better. All right. And basically, because of streaming, they're going to be using generative AI to reverse engineer audiences for targeting.
Yeah.
So, thoughts on that, ad man?
Streaming's already been a better, like, if you're gonna run a TV commercial, depending on where you're at, but, like, streaming is the way to do it because they still have all of the demographics, all of the information on people that we had on Facebook and Instagram 10 years ago. And we can still use it. Like, we're not physically placing it, but we can literally use that same information for streaming commercials. Like, when it comes to, like, I'm just gonna use political ads as an example. You can literally they know who's a Republican, who's a Democrat, who's whoever. Like, they know because they have that data. So you can run those ads only to those people. Um, and with all the platforms now forcing us to watch commercials, it to me it makes yeah, it's and you throw in AI to make it even better. Like, it's already good, but if I think that'd be great. Doesn't he own a streaming commercial or ad company?
Yeah, so Mountain is the name of his ads agency, and they specialize in television and streaming ads, which is why he's so dang good at it.
Well, he's just been brilliant at using his influence and his like the whole celebrity um and making a grip of money. And it's amazing.
Absolutely. I am curious though, how much is a grip of money?
Billions.
Oh, wow. Okay. Good to know. I didn't know that that was a technical term.
That's what I classify a grip as. It's not just like a handful, but it's a grip.
Mm, mm.
Makes no sense,
But
but
but like, yeah, not quite like Scrooge McDuck dive into my money well level,
right.
but a I mean, significant amount. Yeah, I look, I like ads. I'm not ashamed to say I like ads. Um because I know the targeting's so good on it that I'm only seeing ads that actually have relevance to me or potential relevance to me.
Mhm.
So, um, yeah, if it can be better, if we can get even better ads, like if I have to sit through another freaking Carvana commercial on Hulu, I might about scream.
Dude, have you been to do you see the Fallen River Amazon fulfillment center? Like, Amazon's like at least on Hulu, it's like every commercial break, it seems like it's either the T-Mobile commercial with the 2 suits guys or the town of Fallen River and how Amazon's so great and look at what they're doing. I'm like, I feel like I just need to go tour this town now, like, just to see the fulfillment center.
But Amazon is great. All hail Lord Bezos.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But it's just like I'm not the I don't know. I'm not the demo for that kind of stuff, so it's like, yeah, let's make this a little bit better. But streaming's the
I
way
want to
it's gonna happen, in my opinion.
I want to start referring to Jeff Bezos as the king of cardboard.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, I think that would be fun.
Do you think he ever builds himself, or like even in the past built himself a cardboard fort
I mean, he should.
or like a cardboard castle? Like, why wouldn't you? You have all those
Why
boxes.
would you not?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And just have little robot slaves do it all for you. Okay. Uh ne- Next piece here on the list here. Google Maps is testing out QR codes on business profiles.
That's interesting.
Yeah. I only have one problem with it. I'm already looking at it on my phone.
Yeah.
What am I scanning?
What's the purpose of it? Like,
I, uh, maybe if I'm a business owner, I could show it to you on my phone. I don't know.
interesting. Like, okay, cool concept, but to your point, unless you're on your computer, you can't scan it. And what does it take you to? Like, to the website? To the
I,
review
I
section?
feel like I feel like this is the boomeriest technology move because boomers love QR codes.
It's true.
Like they love them. So put a QR code on it.
It won't let me scan that one. Dude, QR codes is so funny. Like, those things been around forever, and then just during the pandemic, they really, boomed. No joke. No pun intended. But they literally
Yeah.
boomed because there was no other way to do menus or anything else. So it's kind of interesting to see.
Yeah.
But why put it on the Google My Business listing? Like, you're already on your phone.
I don't know. It's so funny. Like I saw this article and I went, but why?
Yeah. Does Google not know how QR codes work?
D I just like I feel like there's an exec in there with like a big old cigar. She's like, "Why do we not have QR codes on our business profiles? It's QR codes. Everybody loves a QR code."
Yeah. Oh my god, I could totally see that. Just big dude in his brown suit, on buttons. Yeah. Oh my god, that's great.
Hold on, watch this dry.
Ugh.
Oh man. But yeah, so better or worse? Not really sure, but it's gonna be they're testing it.
It's
So
something.
all right, here's a fun one going the opposite direction from the Boom Squad. Brands and mental health, how to integrate Gen Z insights into marketing. And a couple of insights here of what do you think about that? Just integrating brands and mental health together, like being cognizant of that as a brand.
How do you do that? Like, I'm
I
just trying to
mean,
figure out, like, how do you yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of
I think it comes down to empathy in marketing. Like that's
okay.
really where this article is driving is just we need to have empathy in our marketing. We need to understand that the person consuming our ad or whatever we're putting in front of them, whatever marketing piece, they have a life, they're a human, they've had experience, they have trauma, they have, you know, things that bring them delight and we need to be cognizant of all that when we're presenting those ads.
Instead of doing what?
Just sticking the product in a picture and saying, "Buy this."
Okay. So it's more relating to it. I guess I'm just trying to, like, wrap my head around the whole, like, mental health aspect of it, where it's like, are we calling out, like, "Hey, I'm Simone Biles," because that looks like Simone right there. Like, "Hey, I'm Simone Biles. I do gymnastics, and I suffer from anxiety too. You
You saw
saw
me.
me at the last Olympics. I couldn't do my last thing." Like, I mean, it makes it much more relatable. I just don't
Drink more
know.
milk. Or whatever it is.
Take ashwagandha. Um
Oh my goodness.
No, that makes sense. I mean, it's more relatable, and that is Gen Z. I mean, as you've said numerous times, like, and we've talked about Gen Z. Gen Z broke the marketing funnel. Like, they've changed
Totally.
the way we have to do everything and the way we speak to people. Boomers, you can literally be
I
like, "Hey,
so
buy our shit," but like Gen Z, you can't do that.
I'm gonna bunny trail a little bit here. I was having a conversation with kind of a we'll call him a brand philosopher, a
Ooh,
buddy of mine. Yeah, yeah. And we realized that the if you kind of approach it from this different perspective, the funnel is actually upside down now because our targeting is so good, only a few select people can get into our funnel. And then they come into the funnel and start exploring within the playground of our information, of our media, of our content, whatever it is. And they can kind of wander around until they cross the finish line. And so
hmm,
the funnel process is actually kind of flipped upside down that you need to have this thing of opening on the back end of the acquisition of the awareness rather than a narrowing down to a single point of conversion.
That is a interesting concept, and I actually can see how that makes sense. Because it is like you said,
Thanks.
it's
I appreciate your support for my intelligence. It
yeah.
really goes a long way.
Sometimes you say good things. Kind of like last episode where it's like sometimes I follow you, sometimes I watch your videos. Um, no, dude, that actually I never thought of it that way because the whole idea of the funnel now being a circle, people can enter in at any time, any place. It's completely changed. But I like that analogy of it being upside down. So I never thought of it that way. Where you're totally right. It's narrow at the top, and then we're doing so much more at the bottom. I mean, the whole way through. It's like not even a funnel anymore. It's like an alleyway. It feels
It,
like.
it's like Chuck E. Cheese. You have to get through the gate at the beginning and get your little hand stamped. But then
Ooh,
once you're in, it's a full playground. Like
that's
go
true.
explore and do the things you like. And then eventually you'll narrow in on the one game that you can produce the most tickets on, and you'll just slam that thing all day for long.
Yeah, and you get your 1 beer an hour.
Is it
That's what
one beer an hour? Do they limit it like that?
Yeah, it used to be only 2, you could only have 2 beers. Now it's, at least up here, they've like because we're Eastern Washington Hicks, so they let us have 1 beer an hour now. So you could be there a while and have more than 2 beers. But who really wants to be at Chuck E. Cheese longer than 2 hours? I mean, come on.
Can my children order a beer too?
I don't see why not. Get them a fake ID. I mean, it's then now all of a sudden you got, bunch of beer.
10-year-old with a fake mustache. This is a girl, sir. Okay, so here's a big thing from this week. Apple had a bunch of announcements at the WDC conference, and while there's a lot of things we could unpack here, and Apple is always brilliant on their branding and their positioning. This is no exception. Apple has now branded their version of AI on their platform, Apple Intelligence, which suspiciously is AI.
Weird.
Wow.
Weird. I was just gonna say like so brilliant AI, but maybe we took intelligence and then we just put Apple in front of it instead of artificial.
Yeah. Well, they couldn't go IAI. It just didn't feel good.
Yeah, that would be interesting. Like, oh
Uh,
goodness. Um,
but I think this is maybe not a master class in branding, but definitely a smart way to think about this. If you can co-opt something
mhm.
that is already being created and use it for your own benefit, like go and do that, you know?
Yeah, I definitely think it was smart of them to not dive head first into like, hey, we're gonna make our own AI. Like, no, they just grabbed what already worked and or what's already working and layered their stuff over top of it.
Yeah,
Um,
it's just ChatGPT empowered Siri, but it's Apple Intelligence.
so fancy.
Ooh,
So
ooh,
fancy.
ooh. I was trying to do the little hovering whistle from
Well,
the
it's kind of
Alien show.
funny to see the people, like some people freak out about this. I've seen some like TikToks about it, of course, Elon Musk, but it's like, dude, all this stuff's gonna be anywhere anyways. Like, it's just inevitable that like we'll literally be probably wearing AI at some point. So they're just gonna come out with it, and it makes all of our lives easier. If I can, dude, I will love the day that you could actually just ask Siri to like schedule an appointment or do whatever, and it just do it in the background like that. Oh my
Yeah.
god, like that'll make my
I mean,
life so much easier.
I've had an AI idea floating around for a while. So if you're listening to this podcast, you know, call me for a good time. But what if you had an AI that like obviously it's going to be intrusive because it has to scan your phone and but you can log it into your accounts at like Amazon and some other places and then you give it a budget and you just say buy me some stuff that will bring me joy,
Hmm. That'd be dope.
and then it just has a budget and the random stuff will appear at your door because your AI assistant bought you something fun to spice up your life and make things enjoyable.
And maybe you have it say like from your secret admirer, and then you just
Mm,
yeah.
mm.
No, I think we'll get there. I mean, an
From the
Apple.
Borg.
This is gonna force. I don't know why. Like, this just dawned on me. Like, we know Apple has a monopoly on phones. Like, it's they have like over 51% market share of phones. So most normal people use them except for you, and you make my texts have green bubble. Um, I can't send you
I'm
voice.
giving you, if you're listening on the podcast, I'm giving him a stern look right now.
I can't send you voice memos. Like I've so many times just wanted to like reply to you with like a voice memo, but I can't do that because you have an Android.
Then
Anyways,
send it to me in Slack, you goon.
I gotta open up a different app. I could, but it's just I gotta swipe or something. I mean, it's so frustrating. But this is going to, with the market share that Apple has, introduce. This is an interesting way to introduce AI to way more people without realizing they're using AI and having to go to ChatGPT and type something in, or Perplexity or Claude. It's this is going to open that door.
Absolutely.
Will
Absolutely.
Random question: do you think this will accelerate the usage of AI in everybody's lives?
No.
Okay.
I think at this point, the amount of people in the gray middle zone is dwindling. I think you're either an AI enthusiast or an AI skeptic at this point,
Yeah,
mostly.
I agree.
And if you're a skeptic, you're on the wrong side.
Yeah.
Just gonna say it. Just gonna say it now. Like you need to start embracing and making yourself better through AI. If you're not, you are gonna fall behind. I promise you.
100%.
So, spooky warning. Woo. This one's fun. I actually found this out myself when scheduling our podcast drop. YouTube is now doing in-app thumbnail A/B testing.
About time. I know this was out for like certain creators for a long time, but is this where like you can literally give it like at least two thumbnails, and then like you can adjust it out over and over and over and over and just keep split testing?
So, I can speak to this because I just used it.
Perfect.
You can put 3 thumbnails in, and that's it. I didn't give me any more details or controls or anything. It just said, "Give me 3 thumbnails and I'll test them out." So, if you're watching not this podcast, but episode 6 of Hold My Beard, um, is the first one where we test it. I'm split testing some thumbnails. So,
Because it should give you like analytics based on, oh yeah, I can, okay, look at this. Man, these are some sexy looking guys right here.
oh, so you're seeing the B placement then.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I see the two of us, and I'm doing like this weird, like the rock lip, and you look like you're laughing at me. But yeah, that's the one I see.
Yeah, it takes a while to scrub through and find a frame where you look like an idiot.
It shouldn't be that hard.
oh man. But yeah, I think this is good. Good. If big boys are using it and they're finding value in it, bring it to the little boys. Because
Look at
we're
this.
we're little boy.
Yeah.
I'm just a baby.
She's a
I have
baby.
no money.
She's a baby.
Here's an ads one. Just continuing the downward spiral of LinkedIn ads blowing chunks. LinkedIn has now dropped targeting based on user groups. So now I can't even target a group of people, like a LinkedIn group.
Oh, hey, way to go, LinkedIn. Keep making your platform worse.
I'm just gonna throw it out there. Is LinkedIn the worst ad platform available?
In my opinion, yes, to 1,000%. Like it's
Like
clunky. It's
go on
the
Twitter.
yeah. Yeah. LinkedIn. I mean, it's dude, like it'd be so nice if they could make it even half of what Meta is for like B2B advertising. It'd be huge, but it's just not. I don't feel like they've ever made improvements. Like it is so clunky on the back end. It's so weird to set up a campaign. The targetings, yeah, they're okay, but I mean, it was like you just never really. It's not a place that these guys are go to do stuff, and buy stuff for B2B. They like we talked about. It's more organic and group engagement focused versus in like self-proclaiming I'm awesome, look at me, than it is business owners wanting to go and buy stuff.
And the CPMs are awful.
Yeah.
It's like $50+ per thousand impressions.
Oh my god, that's
Yeah,
worse than
it's
most Meta CPMs.
brutal.
Yeah,
It's brutal.
hard
So,
pass.
kudos to LinkedIn, Microsoft for continuing to downward spiral the only business focused platform out there. Just get it right, guys. Come on.
Golf clap for LinkedIn.
Seriously. Seriously. All right. Got a couple TikTok videos here.
Good
Let's
talk.
take a look at them. Okay. So first one, I'm gonna go with this is Rand Fishkin. Okay. Well, the video is about Rand Fishkin. This is
Mm,
by Build in Public. Highly recommend you go give him a follow on TikTok. Talking about Rand Fishkin though, he's an SEO. He's a actually the guy who leaked the Google algorithm leaks we talked about a few weeks ago.
mm-hmm.
This is the guy, not the guy who leaked it, but the guy who reported on it.
Right.
And so basically what this video is going to go through is how fickle the Google algorithm is, but I'm just going to play it and let you watch.
This guy was drunkenly doing SEO for a several $100 million company. This is Rand Fishkin, and he was drinking whiskey during the World Cup, doing SEO experiments to put on his SEO company's blog. At the time, he was an SEO influencer with hundreds of thousands of followers. He tweeted out, "What should you do during that lull in the World Cup match? Help me run a test." He gave his followers instructions to search the buzzy pain distraction on Google and click the result for sciencebasedmedicine.org. If you want to see how the Google search results work in real time, this is it. Sciencebasedmedicine.org ranked number 8 for the term buzzy pain distraction. 2.5 hours after the initial tweet, 375 participants clicked the result, and the effect was dramatic. Within 3 hours, sciencebasedmedicine.org moved to position 1. And this was the second test of this nature that Rand Fishkin did. So he thought he had verified that Google cares about the velocity of clicks to a search result, and that if there's a high velocity, that search result will rank really high. Now the Google algorithm leak comes into play. This guy Rand was largely responsible for making the leak a big deal. You see, Google said some things about his experiments which he didn't like. A representative said dwell time, click-through rate, whatever Fishkin's new theory is, those are generally made up crap. And when Rand shared the Google leak, he said, given Google's historic attacks on my work. Years before this leak, in many SEO experiments, Rand Fishkin and his team showed how the search results really work. And finally, during the leak, we learned that click data is so important that it was a key motivation for creation of the Chrome browser.
Do no evil. Yeah, I saw that video and thought it was quite interesting, especially the fact that like the Google people were attacking him, and then he basically proved them wrong, and then the leaked documents proved everybody, like all the Google people, wrong. Black hat
Yeah.
tactic here. What?
Is it though?
No.
Is it though?
I have an idea for a black hat tactic, like doing what he did, but like, what's the like? What did the same? Could you kind of get the same effects if you were to get a bunch of bots to click on the site?
That's a great question. I would begin to believe there would be some IP filtering.
Mm-hmm.
Like you'd have to have a distributed bot network to make that happen.
Makes sense.
But maybe I don't know. Somebody do it. Someone go kill a site.
So this would also, where a lot of people say PPC, would running ads to a say piece of content, and they click the ad, you being the SEO guy, will that help boost that page organically as well?
So again, I have not run an experiment on this myself, but having done this for a long time, this would be my anecdotal evidence.
Yes.
The answer is kinda. And here's why. It's not because of the click from the ad. It's because awareness of that page content gets created and then people come back to it organically.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's one of the things we look at a lot in SEO is actually like view count, session count versus user count, because you can see how many people are actually coming to your site versus how many times they came to your site.
Right.
And that's a super important deal, and ads is a tremendous impact on that metric.
So like what are your 2 cents? Not really 2 cents, but your take on this whole experiment and use case ish? Like, could it be something that's used?
Oh, absolutely. And I'm sure there are people taking advantage of this. And there's functionally no way to patch it out if it's done organically enough.
Right. So it wouldn't be something you could do just by like emailing out. Like they have to go search it and then find it and then click on it, and then organically it moves up. How, like, in theory, how long do you think that move up to number one lasts? Let's just say.
Well, Google wants the best result at the top. They want you to click it and never come back. That is Google's objective. And so if the result is actually good, it might stay there.
Right. Hmm. It was just a very interesting experiment, and I like how he was drunk while he was doing it.
That might be a bit of hyperbole. Build in Public is a fantastic storyteller. But yeah, it's something to be aware of.
Yes,
Okay, so if you build a brand new site, go tell all your friends and family to go visit it, and
100%.
through Google, like search for it. So, all right, I got another one here from the absolutely legendary Mr. Gary V. Did a little podcasty poo, and I'm just gonna let him take it away.
I can't wait to hear what you would say to someone that says, I'm too busy to create content.
You don't believe in demand creation.
What does that mean?
You don't believe that creating new customers or consideration for what you're doing is important. Do you know companies that are really great at sales, what they're also bad at are at marketing and branding? If you're a sales organization, that means it's not coming to you. You're going out and hunting. I love sales, and I love when companies do both. But if you're only about sales, it means you don't know how to market and brand, because when you know how to market and brand, it comes to you. So when I hear that, I'm like, oh, that person doesn't understand that content on social networks in April of 2024 is the single most important thing in the world to do great, to get people to come to you versus you go chasing it. They're too busy oftentimes operating and selling, when if they understood that branding and marketing would accomplish the selling and free up time to operate.
Yep. I mean, duh. But it's so funny, the whole notion, "Oh, I don't have time." I believe everybody overthinks this stuff when it comes to content at the beginning. They overthink it. They overcomplicate it. It's like, just do it. Like Nike, do it. You and I did the same thing, where it was like I mean, if people go back to our original content, it's horrible. My original
Oh my
videos
gosh.
were horrible. I was so nervous. I had to have, like, honestly, a lot of them, I had to have 2 beers before I just could batch create content because I was so freaking nervous. Um, but they're horrible. They're absolutely horrible. Like, I go back and I cringe. I'm like, huh. But we just did it and we built the brand. And I totally agree. Like, I love the fact that he talked about like building the brand and like putting out the content, like sales come to you. I've experienced that in the agency side of stuff. I've experienced that in my last ecom business, where we created so much demand, both organically and through paid. We never had to have a sales guy go out and get us wholesale accounts. We had 200 wholesale accounts that came to us. I never had a sales guy. I had Complete Nutrition franchise come to us because we created so much demand that we got into Complete Nutrition. Never had to reach out to them and fill out an application. They were like, "Yo, we want to sell your shit. Can we do that, please?" Um, yeah, so I mean, it's just, but I wish people would just start, because then you'll get the idea of what resonates with people, and you'll get better. It's like golf. It's like riding a bike. Like, the more you do it, the better you get.
Yeah, and I can say just from personal experience, there is no strategy I have ever employed with a higher ROI and a higher close rate than social content.
1000%.
I'm a marketer. You too. Like, we sell marketing services. Like, that's
Hmm.
what we do in our day job. And I look at what we sell and go, I mean, this is important and valuable, right?
Hmm.
But is it the highest ROI thing a business can do? No.
No, no, and that's crazy. Coming from the paid ads guy, like, it's not. But it also, building a brand is a marathon. And they want that instant gratification. It's not a sprint like paid ads. It's a marathon. It takes time,
Mhm.
and that's where, you and I have seen that within our agencies of just educating, putting out content, branding ourselves a certain way has rapidly grown both of our agencies. And people come to us. I don't do any cold outreach. People are like, "How do you get clients?" I'm like, "Dude, you're looking at it. Just
Yeah,
content."
yeah. A- and and not only that, but I mentioned the close rate is so important. Like, sales is not easy.
No.
Okay. Like, and I'm just gonna be flat out. I don't think everybody can do sales. I think
Mhm.
maybe a quarter of the population can sell successfully.
Yes.
And anything you can do to make it easier is extremely worth that effort. And I get on calls where literally the like exchange pleasantries like, "Hey, how you doing? Great to meet you. Oh, I watch a bunch of your videos. I want to hire you. What's the cost?"
Yeah.
Like, that's literally how the conversation begins. go back before I was doing that, I'd get on a call and they're skeptical and leery, and I don't want to get taken advantage of. And you have to date them. You have to date them right then and there.
Yep.
Build trust right then and there, enough to the point where then we can actually broach the conversation of money,
Mm-hmm.
which now we're all tiptoeing around because, like, well, you said all the right things in this sales call, but I still don't know. Like, I have no proof. I have no history with you. And then hopefully, if you're a good salesperson, you can push that across the line.
Right.
But with
That's all.
content, it's not like that.
No, 100%. My record is 9 minutes. I mean, it's like got on the call. They just wanted to know if they just wanted to see
The
if I was the
record is
same.
9 minutes. Someone's
Yeah.
gonna clip that.
Yeah, I know. God dang it. Oh. Clip
You
it.
heard it
Send
here
it to me,
first,
please.
everyone.
Please, somebody clip it and send it to us.
Mitch Marathon is 9 minutes.
It's a long time, man. It's a long time. I'm just telling you. You need a sandwich after that. But yeah, no, a 9-minute close. It was literally just like you said. It got on pleasantries, said a few words. They're like, cool. I just want to make sure you're the same guy that you are in your videos, and you are. So like, yeah, let's go. I'm like, wait, what? I didn't even have to like do anything.
No.
But even outside of the agency world, for if you have a product-based service or a product-based brand, show it in use, talk about the benefits, make it look cool, lifestyle, all that stuff. It goes back to the beginning of the podcast that you were talking about with the upside down funnel. Like, boom, they enter here. Now they're going to go look at everything else. And now they're like, oh, okay, sweet. And then if you got some UGC videos and stuff on there, all the selling's done for you. Now they just need to purchase.
And I was thinking about this, knowing that we were going to talk about this. And if you can't make content, at least pay some influencers to make content about you and for you.
Yeah, I also will be devil's advocate and a bit of a hole here and say that there's no reason not everybody can make content. Like, everybody can make content. It's just your own fears holding you back, which, look, I understand, I get it, but like, do it. It will pay off in the long run. You will suck at the beginning. You will have 200 views. You will have 5 views. You can go look at my YouTube shorts and my Instagrams. You can look at our early videos. Like, they're all bad, but you have to just do it. And you're only making excuses for why you're not doing it. Of like, oh, I don't want to be the face. Well, tough shit. It's your product. It's your passion that's going to come through, not some influencer, not some AI generated video. It's you that's going to do the selling.
Yeah.
Put on
Energy breeds energy.
And then when people say I don't have time, I'm like, okay, what's your favorite show? And then they tell you, like, cool, what's your second favorite show? And then they tell you, like, you get to 5 shows deep and you're like, all right, cool. So are you all caught up on all those? Yeah. Okay, good. So you're watching more Netflix and Hulu than you are doing all this other stuff. Like, there's time to sacrifice. And I could get on this high horse and soapbox forever, but it's there. You just have to do it. Like, I don't know how else to say it. And you're missing the boat. You've been missing the boat, and I'm guilty of this. But for my last brand, my partner was the face of the brand. And I literally pushed him and pushed him and pushed him for more and more and more. It was like, I know this is what's going to make us really get the big, the multi 7 figures. And that's what it did. But it like, I knew we had to do it, and he wasn't comfortable with it, but man, did we fight, and I got my way.
Yeah,
Sorry.
absolutely.
So I'll get off my soapbox now.
Yeah, you're such an ads hole.
I am. I just get passionate about it because, like, I see so many people just not doing the work that needs to be done to make themselves successful, and then they complain about it. And I'm like, guys, just do it, man. Like, I know you're just like me too. We work all day. You spend some time with the family. Family goes to bed. If we still got shit to do, we do it.
Yeah. And I'll say this about making content. You can make successful content for your brand in 15 minutes a day.
Oh, easily. That's more time than I need. Like, yeah.
And like, obviously, as you get into it and you grow with it, it's almost hobby-esque, where it's like, okay, I want to go to the next level. Like, I'll get the camera, or I'll get the microphone, or, I want to, do something different, right? And so you don't have to jump in with a $5,000 setup. You got an iPhone, pull that thing out, point it at your dang face, talk about something you care about. Now, figure out how to do hooks. Okay. That's really important, is figuring out how to do hooks. But if you can just figure out how to do a decent hook, not even a great hook, just a decent hook, and start putting stuff out there, 6 months later, you will thank yourself immensely. 2 years later, where if you're like me, where I was struggling in my business because we're good at SEO, but in my industry, as an SEO person, every other SEO company is doing SEO.
Mhm.
So it's very, very hard to get into. Like the ROI is not great. And my business was struggling. We were kind of just churning and burning. Like it was never getting forward. I started doing TikTok videos, and today, like, my life's completely different and it's
Mhm.
amazing. But you got to start, you got to do the first video, you got to do the first 100 videos.
Yeah.
And if you can get into it and you can do that 15 minutes a day, you're going to you're going to feel it. I promise.
Mhm. 100%. Totally agree.
So, um putting your ads hole hat back on, I figured we'd talk about this real quick, which is Ad Age put out this article about can brands survive inaccurate ad measurement, and I know we've talked extensively offline about uh, measuring ad performance.
Mhm.
I just want to get your take. Like, what's the hot beardy take
Do we wanna get me on the
on?
attribution and tracking soapbox?
I mean, I have put the box down. I
No.
strategically positioned a microphone
You
in front
did.
of it.
You did.
If someone were to stand on it,
I'm
people
gonna
might
push him
listen.
off. I'm gonna push anybody else off that box. Get off my box. Um, somebody clip.
Oh no.
Somebody please clip that one too. Please clip that one. I got two really good spots now for people to clip. This is great. I love it. This I'm just going downhill the farther we get into these podcast episodes. No, I don't think they can. I mean, look at I mean, there's all kinds of like huge brands that are going upside down. Uh, and I don't know, like I'm just going to use Goalie as an example. What are they at? Like, going to do $1 billion or $500 million, and they're going bankrupt. It's who knows if it was due to tracking or whatever, but like without the proper measurement of all of your advertising, like not even just paid ads, but your paid ads, your traditional, your SEO, your email, everything. And even just looking at that from a MER standpoint, media efficiency ratio or marketing efficiency ratio, money in, money out, how's everything going? You're flying blind. And you could think you were having, which I see this all the time, you can think that you have a great ROAS, which is now turned into a dirty word for senior media buyers because we're like, no, we want to run away from ROAS because I can show you a 10x ROAS all day long, but it's only on your brand name and you're not growing. You're hemorrhaging, you're dying. And so you have to have the proper metrics. Now, the question becomes, well, how do you do that? Well, there's all kinds of different ways. There's if you can't afford a first party optimization platform to track everything, shameless plug, like I use AdBeacon, but I can put every single platform. I can attach costs for SEO. I can attach random costs. So I can see MER across the board. Then I can see individual. I can see everything, right? Break it down. And so we know what's working and then what's not working and like what's where to adjust. If you can't afford something like that, that's where just your basic MER, get a spreadsheet. Here's your hard costs. Here's what you spent. Here's the management fee, whatever. Here's what the sales were. Here's what your new customer cost per acquisition was based off of all this. And then here's your returning. You could do this all in a spreadsheet, but it has to be measured. Otherwise, like you can go out of business while thinking everything's going good.
Absolutely. One of the things that you get by doing marketing is data.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not collecting that data, guess what? You're wasting money. Maybe not all of it, but you are definitely wasting money because that data is valuable. And I have to tiptoe carefully here because I'm actually not a data driven marketer. Like, I don't love data driven marketing. I think that data is a part of making smart decisions in marketing,
Mm-hmm.
but if you don't have the data, you can't make smarter decisions. Period.
100%. I like to say that well, and actually, I think somebody said this before Jay-Z, but last person that said it, I think, in like a song or something, was Jay-Z, where it's men lie, women lie, the numbers don't lie. Like, yes, content and strategy, all that plays a role with like success. But to your point, without the data, you're flying blind and you can't make proper decisions. You're trying to do something with one arm tied behind your back, and it's hard. And then all of a sudden you're like, crap, where's all of our money? and now you're scrambling because it's too late. I don't know.
Totally. So you said Ad Beacon is a tool that you can use.
Yeah, I mean, there's like I personally use Ad Beacon for all of our ecom clients. Like it's the requirement. Like you have to let me have access to your Shopify store or BigCommerce or WordPress, whatever it is, so I can attach this, so I can actually see the metrics versus trusting in-app metrics because those are just not accurate. Uh, well, there's lots of them. Like Wicked Reports is great for, your ecom and your lead gen stuff. Like it's probably the only one that really does much for lead gen. Like lead gen and local service-based businesses are just kind of screwed. Everybody built everything for Shopify and WooCommerce and BigCommerce, which by the BigCommerce just, but the so you have like your Ad Beacons, your Triple Whales, your Hyros. Hyros is okay for lead gen stuff because it was built more for infopreneurs. And then you're like your Wicked Reports. Those are kind of your top four. I'm not, and don't sue me, Triple Whale. I'm not a fan of Triple Whale because their total impact actually takes into account view through, post purchase surveys, and where we think this went. So it's not 100% accurate. I'd really North Beam, Ad Beacon, and Wicked are probably my top three.
Awesome. That's really helpful. All right. Well, we've reached everyone's favorite part of the show.
7
except for
minutes
one
with
person.
Mitch.
7 minutes in heaven, everyone. In this segment, what we're going to do is we're going to take a website and we are going to break it down.
Yeah,
All right, we're going to get funky. We're going to pop it and lock it. And we're going to give some real serious advice, guys, about how to make your website better. So if you want your website featured on this segment, please go over to the YouTube channel and put it in the comments. That's where we look for people who want to have their website spend 7 minutes in heaven with us. So today we've got a really fun one. Should be really interesting. Let me get the old timer-rooney out.
Axman.
Shh, you're giving it away.
Oh, sorry. It's not who it is, guys. It's not who it is.
Oh man,
I just have random words.
You got a couple extra seconds. You're getting close to that 9 minutes with Mitch. The top end of about how long he can go. So
oh Lord.
All right, so this is 7 minutes in heaven with Axman.ca and go. You want to buy an axe?
I mean, it's a cool picture of the axe. I'm not a fan of that layout, but I do like that they have a call to action there. You know how I feel about little buttons.
Oh yeah, you hate the tiny buttons. You want
hate
a
the tiny buttons.
big button.
Like big buttons, and I cannot lie. Quality tools for rugged outdoors. Okay, cool. Add Axman, and then it's like a little about blurb. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah. I think that maybe we could talk a bit more about some of the products right here. Like we've got a lot of space. Right. We've got a lot of space on this page. So maybe right below that little text block, we can just have some breakouts for buy an axe, sharpen your axe, buy something that is axe related. I don't know.
Right.
But maybe just some quicker call outs to nav. The longer I do this and the more websites I look at, I realize that they have nav problems, navigation problems. For example, let's look at the nav on Axman. Okay, we've got home, which is obviously going to be there, and contact, which is obviously going to be there.
Right.
But this is an e-com shop. So why is there only one button to shop something? Like I really don't, honestly, like in your nav, really don't care about reviews. Like that shouldn't be in the nav. Your blog,
Could go in the footer.
I go back and forth on that one. Our story, you can have that there. That's fine. But also, like, just from a layout perspective, the header nav is in a site box, meaning that it's utilizing site box width standards. You can easily go full width on this and have a lot more room for a couple extra nav buttons for your shop.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, how many
featured products, popular products, something like that might be a good click here to add, and then shop all to dive into it.
Yeah, I think that our story, blog, and reviews, in my opinion, those things they're footers. Like most people don't go to your website just to go to your blog. Like you're
at least an e-commerce site. At least an e-commerce site.
Yeah, right? E-commerce site, 100%.
So I think that we could definitely improve the nav here a bit. just in general. So
That really is the hardest thing for most people to do. And I actually don't believe you need a home button. I believe most people are trained to click the logo and go back to the home page.
that's definitely an argument. I think that depends on the average age of your audience.
Yeah, it's true.
So for this, I think it's okay. You're gonna have a slightly older audience. I don't think there's a lot of young axe enthusiasts.
True.
It's my guess. I'm just guessing. If you're young and you like axes,
Let us
me
know. Yeah, drop it in
Let
the
me know.
comment. Hey,
Yeah.
I love axes.
So product collections section, don't love the cutoffs
Nope.
on these images.
Yep, they could use a free tool that Shopify has, if this is on Shopify, to make those all a uniform size of like 1 by 1, and it would look much better.
Absolutely. Getting into a little story building here.
Mm.
Actually, no, this is specifically for a brand. It looks like what is that? Hultafors axes.
Hultafors.
Hultafors.
Ultragrafen.
That ain't the most Swedish name. Yeah, I have an axe from Hultafors. Yeah. Please, Sweden, don't sue me. Oh, that was cool.
that was
Hover
got a-
video.
Oh, wow, that's dope.
They don't all have that, but what's going on with this bubble?
What is it? What does it say?
It says new.
Oh, hey, it's a new item. But does it only show up when you hover?
No. It's there. Just like
Oh.
it's so tiny.
But that's so
But
with
the
that,
bubble's so big.
I'd love to see, because I think that's like the featured product section, right?
Potentially, yeah.
So let's call it a featured products. Like, have a separate block for new. So it's just like, hey, these are the new, and then your regular ones, because you got like 3 in there that could easily be. There's probably a 4th somewhere that could be its own little section on the homepage.
All right. Well, let's dive into a product, as we always like to look at one of the product pages. Oh my gosh. There's an add to cart button that is on the screen.
That's crazy. Kudos.
I love it. You got to have an add to cart
Kudos.
button on the screen when it loads.
Yes. And I love that they actually have like some like actual description right there. I've been running into a lot of sites where it's literally just bullet points. And I'm like, dude, like nobody cares about your features. Like you need to sell it, have a blurb or something. So I love that. Oh, and then they got
We
like
got some
add-ons.
upsells. Very nice. Little anemic review block here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, I guess it's a little more robust than I thought. So, and then some you may also likes.
Pretty
Simple,
standard.
straightforward. Also, no additional payment option buttons.
So my 2 cents on the like using the buy it now buttons is it actually hurts conversion rates. I may be wrong, but in my experience, having that buy on the buy it now, buy with Shop Pay, buy with PayPal, like those typically hurt conversion rates. But some people it works for them, some people it doesn't. I personally am a fan of like just the add to cart and then give them the additional payment options on checkout or on the cart.
Absolutely. A little mega menu for the shop though. That's kind of nice.
Yeah, that's cool.
Let's see. I want to look at some collections pages.
Oh,
Something
what
going on
is-
here.
Yeah.
That's got to get fixed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's good that you have an H1 though.
Yeah. Good job.
Pretty standard stuff here for Shopify site though.
Mm-hmm.
Little blurby down here at the bottom for some SEO.
I love that they have the reviews there on the collections page. That's kind of a thing you don't really see too often, but like having it right there.
This like right in line.
A lot of places
Yeah,
won't.
that is slick. I do like that.
Yeah. So you get to see the reviews right there versus going in. You could take it a step further and actually put add to cart buttons on that page, which I've done in the past. But yeah.
Awesome. Well, that is 7 minutes in heaven with Jake and Mitch.
Next time we'll go
I
for
hope it
9.
was as good for you as it was for me.
Next time we'll do 9 minutes.
Whoa there, bud. We might need to work up to that.
Oh no. I'm a problem. Sorry, everybody. Not sorry.
You're the right kind of problem.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, that brings us to the end of the episode. Mitch, any closing comments, thoughts, concerns, anecdotes, puns, haikus?
No, I think I've pretty much done all the damage I can do to the show already.
I agree.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe we get canceled, maybe we don't. Who knows?
Most podcasts gain more listeners over time. That is not the case here.
No, I want to do the opposite. I like to go against the grain. Like
Yeah.
make you stop listening. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, keep it up. Mitch, where can we find you out in the wild?
All over the internet as Beardpreneur and barhammarketing.com.
Excellent. And I'm, of course, Jake, your wizard. You can find me at thewizard.marketing or on your favorite social platform as The Wizard Marketing. And I would be remiss if I did not mention we do have a mastermind course, do we not, Mitch?
We do. We're out there to help everybody. Basically, you get primo access to Jake and I to help you literally like navigate through the world that is digital marketing, SEO, business. It's weekly calls, how to's, all that fun jazz. It's good times. I think people enjoy it.
Absolutely. And you can sign up for that at teachme4m.com. Teach me the number 4m.com. Would love to have you there. Please do follow this podcast on your favorite platform or on YouTube. Hold My Beard is, of course, the name. You can find us by the words Hold My Beard.
Or our two beautiful faces on a thumbnail and me looking stupid.
Well, we try. We
Yes.
try for sure. All right. Thank you so much for listening. And we'll catch you on the